Why is this family obsessed with money? First of all, I realize that my background is a hot mess. I mean, it always is, let's be real. There's a lot going on here. I have a burp cloth right here for one. A freaking burp cloth. 2 burp cloths have made their way into this video, and I am also the human burp cloth. Today we're going to be talking about the Josh Duggar sentencing, which I think was 2 or 3 weeks ago. To be honest with you, I have no concept of time. I don't even really know what today is. I think it's Monday. Besides the point, there has been a lot that has gone on with this Josh Duggar situation. Just as of a day ago, Josh Duggar was moved to serve his 12-year sentencing in a federal prison in Texas. Now that is brand new news. Some of this other stuff I'm going to be talking about has been out for a while, but I haven't been able to talk about it. And I have some opinions about how many years he's going to be serving. And I also have a lot of opinions about the letters that some of his family members wrote the judge, basically pleading for his mercy when it came to Josh Duggar's sentencing. There's a lot of curiosity surrounding this because if Josh was sentenced to 12 years in prison, what happens once he gets out? Because he's still going to have children. And we all know that Anna and his family is going to put him right back around those kids. I've said that a lot on this channel. That's exactly what they're going to do. If he didn't get sentenced to anything, he would be back around those children immediately. Whenever he gets out and he is on this 20 years of probation, he is going to be allowed to see his children, but it has to be supervised. And some of the people that are on the supervised list is his mom and Anna. She doesn't think that Josh actually did this. So I feel like it was a big mistake to put Anna on the list of approved people. Do you think for one second, if Josh is like, I don't want you watching my every move, that Anna's gonna be like, no, I'm going to? The women are controlled in the Duggar family by the men. The fact that they made her on the approved list is ridiculous to me. And then his mom being one of the people that could supervise it, was one of the people that were supposed to supervise him whenever he did what he did to his sisters. And that didn't work out very well, did it either? Because that happened multiple times. And then it says that any other adult who can supervise Josh whenever he sees his kids has to be approved by the probation officer. But my issue with that is that if they're gonna approve Michelle, Jim Bob, and Anna, I mean, you already picked the worst ones to supervise him that you possibly could have. Now, another thing that falls under his probation is that he will have to submit a polygraph, lie detector test whenever they ask him to. He's also not allowed to watch, I'm not gonna be able to say this word out loud or YouTube will take ads off my video, but he's not allowed to watch. It rhymes with corn, all right? He's not allowed to watch that with adults either. So he has to have supervised internet usage. Like, I believe his internet usage has to actually be approved by his probation officer. Like if he's like, hey, I wanna get on here and play Neopets, you know what I mean? His probation officer is going to have to approve that before he can do that. He can not at all watch, you know, corn. Now, there were 2 potential federal prisons that he would be sent to. One was in Seagoville, Texas, and it offered a high-end treatment program for offenders, while the one in Texarkana did not. Now, at Josh Duggar's sentencing, they dropped the charge of possession. And one of the reasons why he got a more severe charge was because of what he did to his sisters. But that charge, in my opinion, should not have been dropped. So he got way less years than I believe that he should have gotten. Now, part of his probation is that he will also have to obviously be on the offender registry list. Now, Amy Duggar, who is his cousin, said, I knew him getting the maximum sentence wasn't going to be the easiest to prove since it's his first offense in the judge's eyes, which I hate. But at the same time, he cannot have his computer. He cannot hurt, exploit any more children. And when he sees his kids, he has to be supervised. And honestly, where he's going, I feel like the prisoners are just going to take care of him. So another issue, you cannot homeschool your children in a house where there is someone who's on the offender registry. And that is what Josh is going to be on. Now, he is still going to have kids who are being homeschooled whenever he gets out of prison, because right now he has a baby. And we all know that the Duggars do not believe in public school. They will never put their kids in public school. It's just not going to happen. So how do they get around that situation? I personally think that they are most likely going to have Michelle do the homeschooling in her home, or at least say that they are. I don't really trust what they're going to do because they've been protecting Josh from the very beginning. That has been something that has been my issue since day one, is that they continuously protect him. You know, it's like Josh can do no wrong. When he does wrong, he did no wrong. So I think that they're probably going to have Michelle homeschool his children so that they can get around that situation where he cannot be in the home with them being homeschooled, because they're definitely not going to send them to public school. Public school would definitely rot their brains, not the dad who is currently in federal prison for looking at CP, but Now, do I think that 12 years is enough for Josh? I absolutely do not. The fact that he's still going to have kids that are under the age of 18 when he gets out speaks volumes. I think people get put in prison for far harsher sentences for way lesser crimes than what Josh got put in prison for. Currently in the state of Arkansas, you can go to prison for 10 years if you are a woman who had an abortion. That's only 2 years less than what Josh Duggar got for looking at like the worst material that these people have ever seen. Like stuff I don't talk about on this channel because it's so terrible. I don't even want the details of it. That's how bad it is. And he only gets 2 years more than a woman who has an abortion. Now here's the thing that really angers me, and the thing I want to talk about the most, that is the letters that was written by Michelle and Anna to the judge in support of Josh, basically asking for his mercy and saying really positive things about Josh. This is why I do these videos where I'm talking total crap about them. It's because of stuff like this. Now I'm gonna read these letters in full, and trust me, I hate listening to people read too. I think it's really important to hear this. I'm gonna read and I'm gonna make comments on this letter. This one is from Anna Duggar to the judge. This is what she wrote him about Josh. Your Honor, I am writing regarding my husband Joshua Duggar, who will come before you for sentencing. As his spouse of more than 13 years, thank you for taking the time to allow me to share about the man I know and love. Joshua and I met nearly 16 years ago. As our friendship grew over the past 2 years, I saw what I know to be even more today, that Joshua is considerate, respectful, quick to forgive, patient, and genuinely the kindest person I know. We were happily married on September 26, 2008. During our first few years of marriage, Joshua and I enjoyed working together at our used car lot in Springdale. There I admired my husband's diligence and his work, and also his perspective. The people are more important than a quick sale. Joshua would often spend hours of his day chatting with and listening to various homeless people who would pass by on the sidewalk, and many of our customers also became our friends. It didn't matter who you were or where you came from. Joshua cared for each person because they are created in the image of God, and that is what determines their value, not social status. First of all, I would like to say, working at a used car dealership, especially where he had this dealership, like I'm from this area, I know where his dealership was. Used cars salesmen often are scammers. They often sell cars that are going to fall apart 10 days after you buy it, maybe even right after you sign the papers and drive off the lot. I'm not saying he did that, but I find that really funny that that's what he did, was he sold used cars, and then she was saying that in the same sentence. Joshua has worked hard to provide for me and our now 7 children, but the happiest part of the day by far is when Daddy comes home from work and his cheerful voice fills the house. Hey guys, how's it going? What did you learn about in school today? Are usually the conversation starters in between greetings each of our children. Joshua's an engaged dad who gladly throws a football with his son. Since to our daughters play a new song they have learned on the piano, answer homework questions, or lends a hand sweeping up spilled crackers. He's a kind, loving, supportive, and caring father and husband, his primary focus in life. I feel like her making that statement is her implying like he couldn't have done any of this stuff because look at what an amazing dad he is. There are a lot of people who go home and are amazing parents and husbands, but they go out there and like murder somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna name names, but I know somebody that was affected by these types of things with their parent or their guardian, and there are pictures of them sitting on the lap of that person smiling and not acting afraid at all because they are children. They don't know any different. It's all they know. They still love their dad because it's all they know, but it doesn't mean that he's a safe person for them to be around. My children and I rely on Joshua for financial, emotional, and physical support. Many others depend on Joshua too. Joshua is a man who frequently volunteers his time, services, resources, striving to contribute to our community and people in need. I really like how the first thing that she said there is financial. Like she really needs him financially. I've actually gotten a lot of comments from people saying that they think that she stays with him because she needs him financially, and that is the first thing she wrote in that portion of the letter was, we need him financially. 4 years ago, one of our good friends, Clark Wilson, passed away from cancer at the age of 57. Joshua took it upon himself to financially support his widow, Denise, and the children they still have living at the home. For the past 4 years, Joshua has quietly and faithfully made significant financial contributions to meet their needs. This was not because we have excess income, but because Joshua has a compassionate heart and he is willing to make personal sacrifices for the benefit of others. Joshua embodies the quote from Ronald Reagan, there is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. Joshua is quick to step in and do whatever he can to be a team builder and help others accomplish their goals without ever needing to receive recognition or praise. These traits do not mean that someone is not capable of doing what Josh did. Joshua sees the best in people and is willing to walk alongside them to help make their dreams a reality. Several years ago, a man named Tommy stopped by the car lot. It was shortly after a snowfall. Tommy was looking for work and asked if he could earn some extra cash by doing a quick wash on each of our cars in the lot. Joshua quickly noticed how thorough Timmy was and asked if he could be willing to come by each week to wash our cars. Over time, Joshua offered to help Tommy get set up in the business and recommended some of our car dealer friends use his washing services as well. Before long, with Joshua's help, Tommy was able to purchase a truck with some equipment of his own. Tommy hired a few employees and was soon running a successful small business. It felt good knowing my husband saw something in Tommy and that he had inspired and enabled him to go for an opportunity to better provide for his family as a small business owner. We continued to use Tommy's washing services for many years. Thank you, Your Honor, for taking these thoughts into consideration. Joshua is surrounded by people who will encourage him to continue to become the best man, father, employer he can be. I ask that you consider reuniting us as a family again soon. I understand the seriousness of this matter. However, I respectfully ask that you take this letter into consideration with determining a fair sentence. I love how she acknowledges that she understands the seriousness of this matter, but writes all of this stuff that is irrelevant to what he's done, trying to be like, look what a good man he is. That stuff does not mean he did not do what he did. There are a lot of people out there who have done a lot of really good things for others, still done a lot of really bad. And what Josh did was very severe. I think that letter shows her lack of intelligence, to be honest with you. I don't even know why she wrote any of that. She should have just wrote the end. Please have mercy on my husband. Lord, have mercy. Because it would have been better than that. This one is from Michelle Duggar. I don't see one from Jim Bob. Michelle said, Your Honor, hello. I am writing this letter in regards to the sentencing of my son, Joshua Duggar. My heart is to share some things about Joshua's character that may not be fully known to the court. It is my sincere hope that these things are taken into consideration as a fair and just sentence is determined. Leading up to the sentencing day, I want to make it clear that Joshua has friends and family who love and support him in his abilities to succeed as a husband, father, business owner, and man both now and in the future. Joshua has a tender heart and he is compassionate towards others. If someone is having a difficult time, he is one of the first to encourage or try to help them in a tangible way. And his wife and children have helped many others by doing cleaning and repair projects and lending a helping hand. Joshua has always been a positive and upbeat person. He is wise financially, saving money for the future and purposing not to go into debt. He's a good provider for his family, working diligently and thinking of creative ways to support and take care of his wife and children. He is also generous and shares his resources with others in need. One example of his heart and to help others is that Joshua has been giving financial assistance to a widow friend of ours for several years. Why is this family obsessed with money? He just got sentenced for looking at horrific stuff involving children, and they're writing these letters talking about finances and that he's giving and generous, and he throws money at people. He's like, here you go, I'll help you out financially. Here's money. He helps his family with money. He works hard to get money. Money. I don't know what is with religious people and their obsession with money. Oh my God. On a personal level, Joshua is an organized and diligent individual. He has set a good example of applying himself eagerly to his work and in many other responsibilities that he carries as a husband and father. Joshua is a loving and patient man, striving to be a blessing and provide for his family. He's also spent quality time with his wife and children, learning life skills together and going on family outings. Side by side, Joshua and his family have built forts, learned how to work on bicycles and other vehicles, gone camping, hiked, fished, and played countless games and sports together. As I look to his return, I stand ready to offer my continued love and encouragement to Josh and his family through their success in the future together. We ask that he would be reunited with his wife and family in a timely manner. Thank you, Your Honor, for taking thoughts into consideration. We implore your wisdom for a just decision in this matter. Thank you for your time. These people live in the twilight zone. These letters, what they say to me is they think that if you are giving and generous and work hard and have money and give money to other people, that you can do no wrong. I mean, in the IBLP, cult that they're in, like in this religion that they raise their children up in, I guess that all of those qualities and traits are exactly what they want all the men to have. So the fact that he exhibits all of those things must mean that he's a fantastic godly man and should be able to get out and get back around his family. Like, they're so delusional. And reading these letters just makes me incredibly mad. Like, it really shows the way that they think, like where their priorities are, and it's not in the safety of the children. I really wish that the Duggar family would seek out some actual education. Surrounding themselves with nothing but this cult and religion that they're in really impedes their ability to be quality people. None of us want to have a husband that does what Josh did. None of us want to have a son that does what Josh did, but he did it. And you have to just be willing to accept it and react accordingly. And I don't think begging for, you know, mercy from the judge and for him to bring this man back around his kids is doing that. Like, this is why he continued to do what he did to his sisters, and that it happened more than one time. This is why, because of his family. And now he married somebody who is the embodiment of his mother. And I'm sure, honestly, Michelle and Jim Bob are very proud of Anna. They are also financially equipped. I am gonna go and try and film a birth story as soon as I can today, so make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel. If you're not yet, I got 4,000 subscribers over there already. I'm so excited about that, so thank you guys if you have already subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not yet, hit the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon for another video.